everyone gets my neck. Alright, okay. Howdy ho. How did I do that? Why is it not there? There we go, that's probably better. Alright. Let's get it locked in place. Yes, I know it's... Nope, okay, it's this hand. There we go, alright. Okay, okay. There's the little boy. Okay. What the heck were we going to do today? Good question, because I don't even know. Oh, it's back to being locked. It better be, at least. Yep. There we go. And I can at least have, you know, a little bit of the bench showing, a little bit of the ceiling, although I don't like having this showing, but whatever. It's a wide angle. It's a wider angle than the old camera. All right. What were we going to do? Oh, it gave up on me. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, let's get that open. Because we're going to need planes. Because we're not done sizing boards. Okay, I'm liking that. Being able to just block it. All right. Well, and give them a little bit. I need to get a couple things done, but once I get the office cleaned up a little bit, so you don't see the giant pile of chaos that it is at the moment, I'll be probably doing it. It'll be a Saturday morning stream most likely. Not this Saturday, but soon. Okay, what do we have? We got this guy, which we finished off, which is most likely going to be the top. What are we going to do? Oh yeah, shoot ends. We're basically going to square these off and then start figuring out the rest. Hello, Stephanie. I'm starting to become a regular, I guess. There we go. So what we really need to do is bring out the Senior shooting board in all its glory. And we might as well bring you out too, just to have a parallel guide. So we're going to square up the ends, at least on the chops, and probably the rest of it as well, so I can start dimensioning. Well, that's actually pretty nice. I'm actually kind of glad about that. We're not going to lose that much. Where's my knife? Kniffle. There you are. Yeah, it's almost square as is, so we might just be cleaning the edges of the board at this point. We're going to have to shoot with the big boy though, because none of the others, I do not think, will have the edge distance. as the others. Oh, you're welcome. I wish I could have caught the second one, but was unable to for... I'm going to just put something else under here. I keep forgetting that those are not quite the same thickness or same distance. Where are we at? Okay, that'll work. So yeah, we're going to be shooting ends today. I'm really liking that new camera. I moved this camera a little bit further towards me so that we can get almost a straight down. I'm trying to reduce the cockeye of the overhead view so that I can just swing it back and forth. The arm that I got it's not going to be able to support that camera, so because all I have to do is this. Well, you can't see it right now, but it's a big, heavy DSLR. And right now, this is the steadiest I can do it. And for those who have been here long enough, they know I had to cry crocodile tears when that thing fell off of a tripod on the ground and I had to send it in. Yeah, I would have loved to have actually seen more of your shop there, Mecca, but I caught you right at the end, I guess. And don't worry if your job's going to pry you away, you're still going to be a mod, even if you can't get in there all the time. Because, I mean, you actually do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I was, which is fine with me as well. Cutting? Or you powdering? There we go. Hey, Disturbed. Yeah. Oh, it's official now here, Disturbed. You're going to have to start calling me for student loans now. Just joking, though. I'm a good little boy and I pay them off. I actually paid off quite a... Wait, what? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about mine. I was like... It's like, it's been a while since the workmate has been on camera. Because it's my stream platform at the moment. It holds the laptop, a camera, microphone, the audio receiver, I should say, because it's a Zoom H5 that has hookups for the wireless stuff in it. I bought it originally thinking I was going to do a podcast at some point, or maybe do voice acting. But lo and behold, I'm Roy Underhill now. Oh, Slarty, he's talking about his shop at the moment. What am I hitting here? Lee Nielsen, if you ever get that playing done. No. Oh, what was it? Fed loan switched over to Mahila or something. So, yeah, I got it. I was just making a joke that, like, yeah, I think Fed loans is becoming non-existent now, or Fed loan. Oh, awesome, Mecca. Awesome. Now you can beg for money like the rest of us. The question is, you haven't really streamed that much, so I don't know what kind of things you do for emotes or anything yet, or like what kind of inside jokes. Oh, didn't realize that. Okay, that's where most of my time is going to be spent. Wasn't cut straight up and down. I was about to say I don't have a onesie, so I can't join Boyd and Bad Dad in their plea for twerking. Let me do this, make sure. Also, 1 second. Yeah. Too heavy. Do I need to just sharpen you? Oh yeah. Well, not for bits, but I mean, like, they weren't doing it for bits. It's just a joke. Like, can't even remember her name, but she made like onesies for a couple of the guys, and they ended up putting them on and twerk. Well, actually, no, I think Lettuce did twerk for bits or something like that, or that's where it all started, was with Lettuce. You know what? I'm cutting end grained. Let's just make it as easy as possible at this point. That's where the whole OnlyFans joke started, it with the guild. I want to say, if I remember correctly. Like, was oh. Might as well help myself out as much as possible at this point. And sharpen. Calamity, yep, that's who was making all of the onesies. Because Bad Dad has a Snorlax onesie. I don't remember which one Boyd has, and then I think Lettuce may also have a onesie. I don't remember. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get it in a second. Oh yeah, I've been working you a little too hard, haven't I? We need to definitely definitely sharpen him up. That might be why it's being such a nuisance. I'll put it over here for right now. Yeah, Boyd's might be a dinosaur. Yeah, I do not have a onesie. So I can't do that. Or at least I can't twerk in a onesie. But I also don't really twerk. But I could, provided the right... Oh man, yeah. This was actually not really. Haven't thought about it because I rather get in the idea. I rather get in the mode of upkeep because I'm still fairly new to hand tool woodworking. I rather get in the mode of trying to upkeep my tools than improve them to see if maybe I'm just neglecting them. There we go, that's a burr. Just so that I'm not, so that I know whether or not it's me being unskilled, me setting up the tools wrong kind of thing, or me ignoring the fact that my tool is dull. Plus, for right now, I got plenty of steel on these blades, and I'd rather build up the muscle memory of sharpening. Possibly. Or a kraken. A treasure chest onesie so that if I have to twerk on camera, I'm always shaking my booty. I see how you're thinking there, dear. It doesn't matter if I twerk or not. My booty is always going to be shaking if I'm in a treasure chest onesie. Deny it all you want, dear. You know it. You knew, somewhere in your heart, you knew I would make that joke. Or that I'd find a way to make a joke out of it. All right. Back to shooting ends, because I probably shouldn't be putting that back up, because we're probably going to sharpen it a few times today, because shooting 4/4 or 8/4 is going to be fun. Wait. Okay. Put you back in here. Oh, a mimic. Got it. Would the hidden teeth be the butt flap? Okay, now let's see how we're doing here. A little too heavy set. Okay, that's definitely doing better. Amazing what going, I wonder if it's dull will do. Actually, no, we're keeping this over here. It's still hot, it's still kicking. Still kicking, chicken wing. Oh, come back. I love you. Maybe an island themed one, like just a lone island with a coconut. And a palm tree for the body. God forbid Calamity Cat actually sees this conversation. Oh, I've seen that one, Mecca. Thank you. Yep. Okay, that was exactly what was wrong. We're definitely going back to the other side too. Let me push it out just a little further. So what I'm thinking is the chops will go on the front. Why are you blinking? The chops will go on the front. The top is going to be connected to the legs with either mortise and tenon or sliding dovetails. And I think sliding dovetails is winning strictly because of expansion, because the grains are going to be crossing each other, and with a sliding dovetail, I can glue the front and let it expand out in the back. Mortise and tenon, I'll end up locking it and probably cracking the worktop later in its life. Almost square. And then, like I said, the chops will probably just be either tenon. I think the chop to the leg is just going to be some sort of tenon, whether it's pegging it on or actually doing a tenon to it. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but that seems to be the ideal connection there. The chop is going to actually get cut down to, what was it? We have 30 right now. I think it was 26, but I'll double check my math there to make sure I have enough for an 18-inch board and a little bit off the edge of the rear chop to hold fast it to the bench. Nintendo Switch XL, huh? Just a little bit more, and my horrendous sawing skills will be covered up. Yeah, I like the fact it's coming off in shavings and not powder. That tells me it's sharp enough. Okay. Let's start kicking this chicken wing again. Snow must be melting into the sub pump inlet. There we go. Okay. Chop one done. Like I said, amazing what happens when you sharpen the blade. So fun thing, the Craftsman's Guild Challenge, the chairs, found out yesterday I don't have wood wide enough, or I don't have wood wide enough for the rear legs, because it needs to be one piece. If you join those, edge join them together, you're just going to have catastrophic failure when you sit in them, the way they're made. So I ended up driving all around town trying to find a piece big enough without a wallet. So even if I did find a piece, I couldn't have bought it. So I did nothing on my camp chair project this week, except find out that I don't have the right size wood. And to give you guys an idea on that, like it's this long, wait, you're tracking me again? So it's this long piece here. I need about 9 inches wide. I have 6-inch wide boards. So when they get put together, there we go. I think it's like that. I want to say it's like that. Disregard the holes. Those are to hang the templates up. That, like, if this had been edge jointed, this entire seat area would just split off because of the forces that you put on it while you're sitting. So when I say catastrophic, I mean catastrophic. I just looked at it and was like, yeah, I need to get one 9-inch wide board. I'm not cutting anything out until I get that. This one's going to be a little while before we start cutting anything of use out of it because of that little nubbin down there. Well, this side has the same problem. Okay, whatever. It's going to take more time and effort than just cutting it out of one piece. Plus, I know there's a place here that sells cherry for $3.50 a board foot, so I'm just going to go buy some 4/4 cherry. While I'm there, I'll probably buy more for future projects coming up. Because once this is done, one second here. I know what happened. I forgot to lock it after I tried to show the camera. That's what it was. I'm getting better. I understand the physics of my camera. I just got to get better memory. I'm going to have a better chance of killing it up here, I think. Get the nubbin down. Okay, now that the nubbin is down, I think we can go back to using the reference face again. We're getting there. Ever so slowly, but we're getting there. So, meaning they're most likely bot accounts. And if a bot account gets a subscription, they can surpass a lot of the protections that we have. That's what I'm assuming, right, Mecca? Because a lot of the protections we have are, you know, subscriber only kind of things. And this is why I keep Mecca. Even if you're not going to be able to live participate too much. This is why I'm keeping you. You're stuck with me. Oh. Okay, let's work on the other end for a little bit. We're getting there, just not there yet. Nah, we'll go back to this one. It's raining cherry. About a third of the board to actually hit. Got this nice scruffy part. Yeah, considering I use Seribot and Commander Root every once in a while. If I have a real problem, Commander Root's what's going to come out. Man, if Lee Nielsen just had their shooting plane up now. You know, Lee Valley is starting to seem more and more the way to go for shooting planes. I don't know how long I can wait. tight. Might be getting to that point of sharpening again, who knows. I think so. I noticed that. They're also not doing much of woodworking streaming at the moment either. Looks like they're doing more of their gardening stuff right now. Oh, I know I wouldn't be disappointed. It's just, I'm a man of aesthetics. I want my shooting plane to look somewhat like a 51, like an actual 51, but I'm left-handed, so I can't just go and buy a 51. 51s were only made right-handed because that is what is done in that day and age. Everything is right-handed. So I kind of want the Lee Nielsen 51L because it will look a lot like the old Stanley 51, but it'll be left-handed. This stream brought to you by Windex. When you need to sharpen a blade, think Windex. This stream not actually sponsored by Windex. Do not listen to Wes's crazy rantings. Oh, did we? Hey, Hansa, thank you for the raid, man. Something's not working on my end, that tells me. Or, let me find out. Ah, that's why. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. My volume was off, so I did not hear it. Plain new woodworking? I don't know. I kind of went for the pun, but you never know. Maybe I'll go crazy and change my name this year to Plain New Woodworking. Except for all of my tools are older than me by at least 8 or 10 decades. So what I'm working on right now is building a Moxon Vise. Whoa, what do we got here? Lyra, thank you for the follow. How are you doing, Hansa? How's that corkscrew going? There we go. Whoa, Technoduck, or Techaduck? Oh, good God, I'm going to be adding letters into that name on accident. Techaduck, thank you for the follow as well. So basically what a Moxon Vise is, and one day I'll fix that picture when it comes up, you know, like right near the end of the project, like I always do. It's a double screw vise that I can clamp to my workbench. So that it'll help me do dovetails a little bit easier. We're making it out of solid cherry. This board right here is 2-inch thick cherry, or 50 mil, depending on where in the world you are. 50 to 51 mil. I think it's actually closer to 51 because 2 inches, what's it? An inch is 25.4 mils. So it'd be 50.8 mils. Right now I'm sharpening up a blade because it got dull. Where's the duck? I mean, I could get Slarty to bring down one of the pirate ducks. Oh, Minimax isn't, I forgot about that. Where's Minimax? I forgot about that. He's supposed to be my shop dog stand-in. Okay. Thank you, Slarty. All right. Forgot about that. Minimax needs to be he needs to be apparent at all times. But also, let me just bring this in here for you. Here's Captain Quacks. Maybe I should make him the hold screen like Hansa. Take all his fame. No. 8/4, sorry. 8/4 or 51 mil, 50 mil, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if quarter is used outside of actually the Americas. I don't know if Britain uses quarters or not. Thank you, Hansa. I thought you might like that. I was like, I've never actually brought those out while you were on while you've raided. You usually raid and then have to go away real fast, so I never think to bring quackers out. He's usually just sitting there on the bring out the blade. He's usually just sitting there in the shower. He's our shower sentinel. Just a little bit that way. No, too much. There we go. Nice and even. Back the blade off. So, all right. We're going to keep this pulled out right now because I'm probably going to come back to it a few times. We're going to keep the rag and the fluid out. I'll go ahead and put this back. So, Hansa, the thing I was talking about camera-wise in your stream, let's see. There we go. I now have an automated cameraman that I can turn on and off. And so, mainly because I wanted to do this, here is the tool chest. See if you can find me. There we go. So this here is the tool chest. Let me pull quackers out of the way. It's nice and tall. You can kind of see the chisel rack here. Nice slanted roof. This will eventually have my panel saws on it. And I've got some back saws and planes in here. And then I have a lower, well, I can almost, never mind. We tried. But there's a drop front for a bunch of the other tools to go in on the lower section. But it is done and working at this point. Let's get back over here. Lock. All right. Now that it is locked, you can actually see like a little bit of the heavy front of my bench now. We're getting better. So what I'm really doing right now is, this is the front, one of the chops for the bench. Here's the other chop. We're just squaring off the ends of it. We've been planing stuff to size, and hopefully by the end of this stream, I will have everything to the point where I can start cutting all the shapes out in the joinery. Not a heavy enough cut. There we go. A little too heavy. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm using what's called a shooting board, and the biggest plane I have right now for a shooting plane, because of how thick the material is, I can't use my smoother like I usually do and tear through it as fast as possible. It won't even go through the full thickness. But what it is it's a jig that basically holds your board at a 90-degree angle and then holds your plane at a 90-degree angle so that you can just sit here and scrape off the end, you know, thousandth by thousandth or mil by mil, until you have a perfectly flat, perfectly square end. And just so you get an idea, sawn, shot. So like we're getting rid of all of the saw marks, and it's going to be almost as glass smooth as the edges. It's going to be nice and presentable. It's not going to be all hairy. Techaduck. That's why it's doing that. We're going to do it this way. Thank you, Duck. We're just going to shorten you to Duck. You're the only one that has Duck in it that I know of. Let me back it just a little bit too far. Oh, we're almost there. I'm not too worried about this. This face right here is going to get covered in leather. When it stops cutting, it means it's flat at the moment, but I'm just very minutely walking it out to get a little more material to shoot, because we still have that ugly, ugly edge right there. It's cherry, actually, yeah. The heartwood of cherry has a similar color to cedar. Very, very beautiful. The thing though is if I just leave it out in the sun, it's going to turn a really nice deep red color compared to what cherry or cedar typically grays out. This will turn even more red. Okay, now that we've gotten that little hiccup done, let's go back to the actual reference face. All right, that edge is done. Bloop, bloop. Go to the reference face, which is this side. And why I'm saying reference face is I have marks here like this V here and this squiggle. This is my reference face, this is my reference edge. I have taken painstaking time to make sure it is, both of these sides are flat and 90 degrees to each other. So this is referenced against the flat of the 90 here so that I can get a 90-degree edge here. Everything is just referencing off of something. Oh, nice. I like using cherry. It's a nice, easy wood to work with. I grew up using walnut a lot. It's just expensive. Which, I mean, this right here is just an old leftover piece of a walnut table. It was a leg. It was an offcut from a leg from a table we built when I was a kid. So it's stupid stable at this point because it's somewhere around 30 years old now. Or 30 years cut and squared. Or not 30, sorry, 20 years cut and squared. Dad got it when I was around 10. Okay, let's do this because I'm starting to blow out that side because it's heavy. It's not the worst thing in the world, but hey, Yankee, how you doing? I love that squeaky noise. You know what? Let's see if a little bit of lube will help. Wax it up. And I am liking the fact that with my toolbox, now that I know I'm not using these, let's put these back. I can get most of my tools out of the way. Like the tools that are non-essential are physically out of the way now. So I don't it's still a little bit crowded on my workbench, but it's not overcrowding. Well, I kind of envy you at that point. Right now I've got a lot of poplar, cherry, pine, and a lot of little offcuts of walnut at the moment. But the next time I get to go home, I'm coming home with a load of walnut. Dad has already told me that. He's not able to woodwork like he used to, so that load of walnut is probably coming with me. Tables and benches and everything else I can think of to make. Okay, let's get back to here. Getting there, about halfway shot. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, let's keep doing this way. Don't like how it's... Unfortunately, there's not a lot of interesting things to do while you're watching, or like, there's not a lot of interesting things about doing the same thing over and over to make sure everything's square on the ends. Because I mean, I've got 2 more boards like this to do before I call it done. Actually, those boards I probably don't need to do because they're not to the correct sizes yet. And I don't know why I did both of these. I only needed one because I gotta cut down to size anyways. We'll do some math and start playing with chop size here soon. Ah, get out of there. How we doing? About 3/4 the way done. Okay, that tells me I need to get a new handle screw. But since I'm not using the handle, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, don't worry about it. It's very simple maths. None of that trigonometry, even though I like doing that. I used to have the unit circle memorized. It's just very simple addition. We got, let's see, 18 inches plus an inch on each side is what, 20 inches? Okay, so what was it? 20, if we take 26, that gives me 2 inches on each side. Inside, yeah, I can't even, yeah, the toe screw came out. The the tote screw came out. Just I really need to like finesse and tighten these, finesse the bolts holding it, because the tote is a little loose as is, so I probably need to take a little bit off of it so it can tighten down even tighter. Wait, there was a stretch redeem? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Let me pull my arms out. Ugh. So sorry. Well, hello, Kinetics. We are currently sizing boards to build a Moxon Vise. Kinetic FX. There we go. Sorry, I said your name wrong there. Kinetic FX. So right now I'm just shooting the edges to make sure that they're nice and 90 degrees. Honestly, yeah, let's do this real quick. I was more afraid, like, when I saw how small it was, I was like, okay, good. This screw didn't decide to come out, which I think would be worse. Ah, both of them are coming loose. There we go, nice and solid. Way. Okay, there. The funny thing is I haven't had my hand on it at all. It just shook itself loose. It's probably from all of the edge joining I've been doing. I probably kind of wrenched it a little bit and loosened it. And just the vibrations of hitting end grain is probably what finally decided to loosen it off. still a little heavy. Oh, we're almost there. Okay, good. I'm still thinking about getting, I mean, like, I really want to get the Lee Nielsen one, but it's been out of stock forever. But I'm starting to think, you know, if it stays out of stock too long, maybe just get the Lee Valley one, the Veritas. And the only reason I want the Lee Nielsen is because it looks like the 51. In all reality, that's the real reason I want it. Okay, we are hair's breadth away. All right, there we go. I mean, just throw it into the toolbox and it's gone. Yeah, the price delta is pretty big on Lee Nielsen. If I wasn't left-handed, I would have picked up a 51 by now. Okay. Brushy brush, brushy brush. Poplar's gone. Okay. All right. Now for math. We got 30-inch wide boards. If we take 2 inches off of each side, that is 26 inches. If we take an inch off, what was it? I had this figured out. I should have written it down. Okay. You know what? When in doubt, pinky out. Take out my 3-foot rule. We have 28-inch wide boards. That's a good thing to remember. Why is it 28? Because it divided evenly. 28-inch wide boards. You take 2 inches off. You have 24-inch wide boards. I think it was something if we take it down to 25, so 2.5 inches off each side. We have 25 center to center. You take off 2 inches from the inside of 25. That gets you down to 20. Okay. Brain not working. I knew it, Landlock. I started talking math and you're just like, nope, out of here. Okay. We have 28. You take 2 inches off on each side. That gives you, what, 24 on the center. That will not give you enough for 18 inches screw to screw. Like, because we need that little angle portion. All right, I had it figured out. Don't know why I don't have it figured out now. 2 inches off, 2 inches off, 4. You have a 3/4 inch bolt that goes through it. Oh yeah, that's why you need to. Okay. Get it down to 25. That means 2.5 on each side. Or wait, not 2.5. 1.5 on each side. That's all right. That's all right, Newfie. I was just joking. Yeah, like I said, it's getting more and more tempting to just do Veritas, even though it's a form factor thing. I don't know why I don't like it. One second. Okay, there we go. I really like being able to reposition the camera just by moving an inch. Let's see, 28 minus 4 is 20. And it gives you 20 inches to the screws. Minus 2, it gives you, no. Okay, so. All right, time to pull out the instructions. Please hold, because we played around with it. This person who had instructions and hardware and now magically does not know where hardware is. Oh no, that's actually bad. Where did I store the hardware for this job? Ah, there it is. Okay. I know their math didn't make sense to me last time, because they said something like you need 25.5 and that'll get you 18 in the centers. Okay, Moxon Vise 2 wood powers, blah, blah, blah. The jaw height should be at least 4 inches. We did that. Keep in mind, jaw height is the distance to the workbench, blah, blah, blah. Okay, to work out front jaw width, the threaded rods need to be inset 2 3/4. And then they say add 6 inches to that for the loop-de-loo hold fast points. So let's start backwards mathing with the mathylator. Here we go. We've got 28-inch boards minus 7.5 minus 7.5. That's 22.5 minus 6. That only gives you 16.25, so I don't know how they say 20. To size the rear jaw. Okay. The rear jaw, you know, if we went off the 28, I honestly don't think you need the full 3 inches. So, back. 5 gives you 17.5, and that's 2.5 inches. How much space do I need here? Give me a small big are these really? They're only an inch of contact. I don't see why you need, okay, so like an inch and a half on each side, or 2 inches on each side would be 4. Gives you 18 and a half. Okay. Now why 275? Threaded rods need to be inset 2 3/4 from each side. That seems like a lot of wood. That's a lot of space from the inside. Anyway. Let me get back in the chat again. Let me actually come up here. There we go. Thank you, Mecca. RTFM for the win. Well, the thing is what we forgot about Mecca is the 2 wings that come out on the side for the holdfasts. So, or I may have been double guessing myself, but I think I just reconfirmed what you were saying, that if we take 2 inches off each side, that gives you 24. Then the 2 3/4, that gives you 18 and a half between centers, which is tight, but it works. Or I almost think 2 and a half is more the realistic spacing I should be using. 2 3/4 seems like a lot of space. And that's the other thing, like I'm just taking dead off, and that's center to center spacing. So you got to take, like it would be 18 flat, I think. Yeah, I want 18-inch panels, which means 3/4 inch. I honestly, I think we probably should do 1.5 inches off each side. So if we do 25, it would give me a little more spacing. Yeah, I wanted to be able to do at least 18-inch panels, and doing their math doesn't make sense. Like 23.5 on center. Unless they were saying 23.5 is where their centers were. 23.5. And this is the part where it gets screwy because where are these? These are these 1/2 inch? Or are these 3/4? I think these are 3/4. Yeah, these are 3/4. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to drill or cut anything until I know what the heck I'm doing. Because the last thing I want to do is cut through 8/4 wood and then find out that I've cut it wrong. So that's... Okay, so that gives me 18.5 to center, but if I follow those rules completely, 0.75 by 2 is 375 times 2. Yeah, that gives me less than 18 inches center to center. Let's start it this way. Start it this way. Let's get absolute minimum clear. So that means 18.75. So 18 3/4 would be absolute minimum clear because you have to add you have to add 2/2 of a diameter to get the absolute clear between screws. So 18.75 is absolute minimum clear. Like that's scraping threads against wood, clear. Plus 2.75. That gets me 24 1/4 for the holes center to center, which now that makes sense, 24 1/2. Well, wait, no, they said 23 1/2. I wonder if that's a typo because you can't get 18 inch clear that way, like the way they were saying. So 18 3/4 would be absolute minimum clear plus the 2.75 from each end. So that's 2 3/4 from each end. That's 24 1/4. Okay, so 28, oh, clear. 28 minus 24 1/4, divide by 2. 1 7/8 would be how big my nubbly-doos are to hold fast it. Yeah, so like if we want, yeah, and 19 gives you plenty. So 19 plus the 2.75 plus 2.75 is 24 1/2. So that gives you at least a little bit of space. But like I said, that gives you 1/8 of an inch on each side. So you're not rubbing screws. And then, so 24 1/2 to at least center to center. And then or 19 for center to center. And then the 2 3/4 on each end. That's 24 1/2. So that would leave us with what, like, 1 1/2 on each side, which I don't. And also, I don't think 2 3/4 is going to change that much if I do it at 2 1/2. Like if I do it at 2 1/2, that's as opposed to their recommended 2 3/4. 28 minus 24 1/2. That's 3 1/2. 3.5 divided by 2. That gives me 1 3/4 for the nubbly-doos to hold down on each side. (28 minus 20 1/2). Yeah, see, the thing that I was looking at is they're recommending 3 to put the center at, what was it, 2 3/4 in. I think that's where the disconnect is. And considering the size of the washers, I don't want to put them stupid close to the ends. Oh wait, these guys aren't as big. How big are these? What is the diameter of my washers? Washers are 1.5 inches in diameter. But yeah, I think we're coming to the same consensus that 2 3/4 seems to be too big. Where's my 18-inch beast? I think I have an 18-incher. If anything, just keep getting things out in physical sizing. Oh yeah, I can do 18 inches this way. That's an 18-inch board. And I'm not trying to ignore you, I'm just trying to work out like what they recommend versus what. And I think part of why they recommend it is if you look at the washers they gave you, and I'm going to have to go wash my hands. These babies are big. They are, yeah, they're a half-inch bigger than the special washers I bought. And I'm, yep, definitely going to need to wash my hands before I touch the wood. Okay. So, sorry, I'm going to read this now. Sorry, I have my calculator up, so all of this stuff isn't showing up. 28.5 inches minus 20.5 equals 6.5 divided by 2 is 3.25 from each end. If you go 2 3/4 from each end of 28. No, okay, so the problem is, here, let me get a picture for you. Be easier. What we didn't account for, come on, black and white. Is the extra 3 inches at the end of the rear vise. So front vise here, the rear vise has an extra, in their calculations, an extra 6 inches for some sort of hold fast, hold down. Let me see if I can get a better picture, because I'm not going to do it that way with a hole through it. I was just going to make nubbins. Let's see. So, I've thought about that. It's just, it's one of those things where, like, so, yeah, this is more of, let me go wash my hands real quick and I'll come back and explain like my thought process and why I'm double checking things. I will be back here in 5-10 minutes. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, I'm back. So, Mecca, let me get, no, not there. All right, back in the little thingy here. Let's clear some wool off of my thing. It's something I've been thinking of because, like, you don't go into these without a plan. And I've been slowly trying to think of how everything's getting put together. So let me show you some of the fun technical difficulties. And yes, I do have I'll go ahead and preface, yes, I do have 4/4 cherry if I want to go that route. So, okay, we're gonna blam, blam, blam. Just bear with me at the moment. Okay, so say those are the chops. And here's the top. If we flood them, phone fall. Go ahead and add it. We add this up flush. We only have a couple inches as is. Actually, now that I think about it, I could change a little bit of it here. So what I was planning on doing is just say that that's flush for right now. And imagine what I'm pulling out here is 8/4, or I'll just pull the dang 8/4 board. So this is what I like. I get to have some brainstorming sessions. So this one, remember, has the huge defect. I was going to cut 2 runner legs out to go out this way. Now that I'm looking at it, I got a lot of extra wood. I was going to cut cut it to have some nubs in the back, regardless, so that I always have some back ones. Now what I'm thinking is, since I've got some extra wood, I didn't want to have to edge glue them on, because like edge gluing it's not going to work. But I might, because like I'm really going to have them in like a couple. I'm going to have them in far enough that they don't interfere with the screws, obviously. But then I could just maybe like dovetail something in on the back here, like, or just put a second set of like feet out this way, like just have them like sliding dovetailed in this way, or just like mortise and tenon up into the top this way, so that I have a little nub coming out from the top of it. I guess my problem is just like, how do I add that material on the back? I want the vise chop basically to sit flush with the bench top. And right now, I've got enough wood to jerry-rig something into being the sides. The one big defect of this wood, but I still like it. It's just going to be a pain. So I don't know if you were still there, Mecca, because like I said, it was just a 5-minute get the oil and grease off of my hands before I start touching my beautiful cherry. Going back on the heater. It's getting cold. Warm me up. And we're going to sit here and I'm going to wait for a bit. just so that this is actually open and I can, oh wow, this is every kind of nut. Hooray, no nut allergies for Wes. I'll put this over here for right now. So that's what I'm trying to think through. There's not going to be much more than 2 inches of clearance. But now that I'm sizing everything up, it may not be that big of a deal. I can probably add some nubbin. Just don't know which one yet. Still there, Mecca? Or are you thinking this one through like me? Actually, that might be the best idea. Also, while we're at it, playing around with how these line up, let's see what face-to-face looks like. Because now we're playing with layout. I think this will do here. And just disregard this being slightly taller for now. Oh no! Because I'm going to be planing this down to be flush to each other at the end. There's no point in doing it right now. Although flushing the thickness of them, flushing them to size with each other would be good. I honestly would not be worried about having this like this. I would be worried about that, so. Alright, you to here. You're gonna fall out if I do anything with you, aren't you? Just like the other one. Almost wonder if I should just use you as the top. You got one hell of an ugly edge right there. You in as the top, even though you've got that huge thing down there, this is going to fall out and I can't use the other side as the top. I can easily just chamfer this thing off here, which is fine with me. I'm fine with chamfering it. I just really like the fact that this is all hard. Sorry, this is the pun. Well, hello there. People are still alive. Woo! Okay. Although I may just drill this out. Sorry, I'm being level of fun here. See how bad this is. It could just be a glory defect at this point. Nope, that's loose. That's what I wanted to see. It's shaking under even this. Good to know. All right, give me a screwdriver. We're going to just pop her out. So both knots were loose. I'd rather just, if it's loose, have it come out. Yeah, I could epoxy seal it, but I'm not an epoxy woodworker. There. It is now another bona fide defect. This is something you watch out for with cherry. If you got a knot, it's most likely going to be loose. What I'm doing right now is seeing what it's doing. And what I am seeing is that this does not want to be the top, the presentation face of anything. Because the branch is actually seated in at an angle. Like I said, I'm okay with popping out loose nuts. Because I'd rather they not pop out later. And looking at how this is working, this is definitely not a presentation face, because as you plane it, it's just going to open up worse and worse. So this is a presentation face, or this is a presentation face. And looking at it, this is probably going to be the top. I'm just kind of worried how far in this guy goes as well. But I think we got most of this guy out, and we're at Heartwood. I don't think we're ever going to get through a full inch of this planing. Uh-huh. 1 second here. Don't ever offer me viewership. That's about how I deal with it. Don't. I got the fun buy your way to success message. No. Oh, did they spill over? Exactly, Yankee. We're all about the quick way to success, aren't we? All right, so I think we're getting a plan here. I think at this point we're just having to figure out what we're doing. I need to claim which piece is what at this point. And as bad as don't want to say it, this is probably going to be the top. This beautiful piece is probably going to be legs. I'm not too worried about that. The only reason is it's got this giant live edge portion here that no matter how it's got a live edge portion here too, and really don't want a live edge portion going directly on a joint like that. Ah, well, it's a good thing we caught it then. Good thing we caught it then, Slarty. Okay, so I think as we're doing it here, this is going to become, okay, edge. And these are going to become legs. Unless it, well, the thing is I wasn't worried about it when it was on the bottom, but that knot that was here was actually loose. I'm not sure I want to keep that knot there. Well, because it's out now. And you typically, like, I'm fine with the knot, I just don't want it to be on top. And if I drill through it, just to say, ooh, yeah, there, we're going to have a hold fast hole. After looking at it, it's going to be reamed out by side knot because it's growing in it like that. Yeah. Because of that, because of this, the way this knot is, it's more of a problem. to be the top, because the live edge, I was going to put it on the bottom where it doesn't interfere with anything, but it's much more of a problem to be on top than it is for this one to be on bottom. Like this one being on bottom doesn't actually bother me at all. And this has flat edges, so I'm fine with that. But the way that this knot's growing in, it is literally growing in at a 45, so there's really nothing I can do besides pour epoxy into it. I mean, I could do that, but then flattening it becomes even worse. It'd be easier to make the runner legs out of this material. Oh, that's why it's doing that. There is that too. I could do that. I could fill it in with a peg. And I know this will plane easier than this because I can feel where that knot, that big knot is, that fell out. I can feel just right there, it's a hump. And it's changing, you know, I'll have to plane this way and then plane this way. I can just look at how the grain is on that. And I mean, I've got that same problem here, but not to the nth degree, I think. Or butterfly it. Yeah, I could butterfly it. Like right now I'm selecting wood and trying to figure out how I want to do this. Because I mean, like originally this guy's got a big old beast here, which I can just ignore the entirety of and use this to make the sled runners. This one also is just, it's flatter. I know it's flatter. So I may just ignore the fact that that loose knot, I took the loose knot out, and we can find a solution for it. Because I mean, at the absolute worst, I mean, well, I don't even need to come off of here. I have 3/4 inch red oak that I can just, you know, like we can drill out and just put it in. Butterflying would be a fun one too. It'd be an interesting, like, why is there a butterfly there? Good question. I'm not going to tell you. Aesthetics. It's because it's supposed to be there, man. It's supposed to be there. Okay, so the other thing I'm noticing, I'm not sure how this happened. This is not going to tell me anything because it's too small. I'm not too worried about it, but for some reason, these are 27 7/8 and the jaws are 28. That's not that big of a deal to me, because I can always take 1/8 of an inch off later. So I think with that, and I know Mecca has, I guess, left us forever. I was trying to bounce some questions on him, but he has taken offense to my measuring. I think we can just do what he said and add some feeties later. This one's going to be a lot easier to use as the tabletop, so well, I know where my pencil is. You notice it was under a pile of crap. Top. We're going to have to plane it anyways. Top. Legs. We're getting somewhere if I'm labeling the wood here. Front chop, rear chop, so since we know which one the legs are, we do not need to shoot these. We do not need to shoot the ends because we need to cut them to size. This, oh, whoa. Why are you following me again? Stop. Come on. Oh. Yeah, so we'll turn that into a beauty mark of some form. We need to shoot the ends on this one. The fun thing is I don't really need to plane the bottom. I'm going to plane it just to get that off. So we need to shoot the ends, maybe plane a little bit of the top, but I'm going to leave planing the top until the very end because we're going to be, joining it up to this baby here. And then we can just plane the top all as one unit. Phone down! Phone down. That's another phone down. This is the longest Mecca's been quiet. I don't know what's going on. Did I offend you, Mecca? Just phone drop one, plus, actually. I think, or it's phone fall, I think. There we go. Oops. Okay, so we need to shoot ends. A little too much. Too much nuts. So we need to shoot the end of the top board. And then we can start cutting things. Because we'll start getting this cut to size, get the holes drilled in, or get the holes drilled in place because we're going to revise our plan. There we go. I think we will shoot this board and then I'm going to have to think about the detail of exactly how those little feetsies are going to work. Okay, you're in. Shooting time, because we're going to lose some width here regardless because I'm terrible at cutting apparently. This is going to take a bit. All right, so yeah, I think today we are going to get through shooting and hope to God we're done. Ooh, my hands cold, 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 cold. Very much cold. That plane has gotten cold. Ooh. But we got through the biggest portion, figuring out mostly. Very true, it might actually be able to capture live Max when he comes in. Actually, it will be able to capture live Max because of the range of motion it has. But I'm glad we figured out, okay, what's top, what's front chop, what's rear chop, and what's the legs / nubbins. One second here. Discord, Instagram, I just want to make sure. Sorry, quick pause for myself. Get back to here. Woo! All right, back to shooting ends. Just making sure I didn't lose any conversations because the app doesn't retain anything for whatever reason. Now that I got this thing working correctly, I'm probably going to use the number 6 for shooting from now on. Just because it's got the mast to go through everything, and it's got an actual flat blade, unlike my smoother. Yeah, just cold as hell. Let me flip it this way real quick. What we're trying to cut off is not even getting hit. There we go. So we have this huge chunklet. I just want it. There we go. Sorry for being so enthralling. We may need to sharpen again here soon. This is why I want a shooting plane. But also, this is one of the things I like about Twitch. Now that I think about it. Sorry, I'm jumping off my brain here. Something you don't see on YouTube very often is the sit down and go, something's not working right, and having to figure it out. Like the dimension thing. Like I'm sitting here going, I don't have enough wood for those nubbies. How am I going to address that? And something I didn't even think about, a completely different tactic, is not what Mecca brought up, which was, add some more wood to it, but I could even just bore a little bit, like a little edge on the back of the vise and just do it that way. No, you get to see me struggle. That is the only way I work there, Yankee. We're all going to struggle together. All right, 1 second. We may have to sharpen that blade here soon. Just keep it as keen as possible. Hooray for being left-handed. It shows the really awesome thing to you guys when I actually use it correctly. I see Wrench is having a fun time right now. All right, I don't know how I'm gonna, will this work? For a posture check? Considering, like, I do need to, honestly, I need to stop doing that. I need to actually, like, keep my back straight while I'm doing this. So, thank you. I need to actually stand more like this. Oh, don't worry, Mecca. I'm just making sure everything was okay. It looked like you had signed out or fallen off the internet. I just making sure that our dimension debate wasn't off-putting. But I don't know if you missed the fun time there, Mecca. I don't know, like, if you saw me, like, figure out what the layout's going to be. Okay, sorry. Don't worry about it. Like I said, just making sure. We did. We came up with 28. That's why it's cut to 28 inches. It's just, I had forgotten to talk about the fact that there are little nubbies at the end of it. But that's neither here nor there. We kind of figured out which is going to be top, which is going to be leg material. And the thing is I got enough leg material to do the 2 legs out with little nubs in the back. Okay, well, let's stop and recap that for Mecca. All right, one second. Let me get my brush. And yes, I did do the hydrate. So was it internet problems, Mecca? We're not going to move these because I clamped one of them down to the bowl. All right, so ignore the fact that one of the chops is taller than the other. Okay, rear chop. Front chop. Because we're just going to plane them to size anyways. Okay, so this is the top, which is going to either be mortise and tenoned in or dowel fit in. Most likely a dowel fit, just to make it work, or maybe even a sliding dovetail this way, depending on how I really feel like it. Yeah. It's probably going to be better, but I mean, like, what's going to happen here? Oh, cool. We got this here. Sweet. This will help. Okay. Let me get another chunk of 8/4 that I own. That's in walnut, so you can kind of get the idea here. Shoot, I have these 8/4 walnuts. Why am I not just using these? Just so you can get an idea. So we're gonna have these 8/4. We're gonna have, 8/4 runner legs out like this, and I'm gonna make little clamp feety out here. And I got to think about how to do it, but we're going to connect a piece here into the face or into this to have one set about 2 inches back. Here, I just got to make sure everything is nice and snug. But basically it's going to look like, hey, here we go. Just pretend these walnut runners, even though this isn't even 8/4 anymore. Pretend these walnut runners are cherry, and they'll have like a little scoop and a little place for a pad if I want to rear right there. And then we're going to take, I got some 8/4 nubbins as well. Well, heck, this is left over from making the box. We're going to take some and maybe like nub it out here like that. So something kind of like that, where you'll have some side nubs too, so I can just side nub or back nub or side and back nub. But I think that's what's going to end up happening. I just got to figure out how these side nubs are going to attach in. Most likely what I'm going to do is some sort of like rabbet and get it where it comes up maybe halfway up into this rear vise, and then just pin it with some dowels. But that's basically what it's going to look like. We also found out while you're off screen that this knot that was on the top, that's going to be on the top face, was loose, so I just went ahead and pulled it out. We're going to do something with it. Whether I just drill a hole, make that a holdfast location, or whether I just drill it out and put in a dowel or some sort of decorative thing to make it nice, like maybe even a butterfly there. But no, yeah, there is no problem with how it's being laid out now. I think we're just going to do the measurements we had before, 28-ish, and I say ish because we're probably going to lose 1/8 of an inch once we're done shooting these. I'm going to get everything sized correctly, and we'll have 28-ish. It's probably going to be 27 7/8 by the end of it. And we're just going to go with that. And I feel like, honestly, having 4 points to clamp with, especially with having a top, is going to be better. And you never know, I may take a part of what is the leg material, just edge joint it on, and give myself like an extra 3 inches at the back. And preserve that, well, no, we got that nice live edge right there. I kind of like that live edge. Keep that live edge. All right. No, I just was making sure because you had disappeared and making sure I didn't offend. Come on. Well, and I did actually just get done saying that that's part of what I like about Twitch over YouTube. I can't edit that out. If something comes up, either A, the stream is over for the day and I have to sit down and think about it, or B, I can spitball with you guys and come up with a design that will work. But either way, you have a chance to actually see the screw up process. The, let's change this. Oh, what do we got here? X Flamingo, thank you for the follow there. That's all right. Everyone has their own lives, man. Look at all this green paint coming off. I'm gonna have a sexy cherry end here. I'm not gonna have all this green identifying paint. That's all right. It's not that we had a difference of opinion, it's that like after we discussed it that time, I was like, wait, like I'd already cut everything and then I went, afterwards I went, wait, we didn't allot for the nubbins. And so I had to sit there and think about it. So Mecca, just remind me, what is the 24 inches is the on center that we had, right, for boards? Or not 24 inches. Sorry. Is it 19 and a half on center that we had for the boards? Or was it 20 inches? I want to say it was 20 inches. Ah, screw it. I can't even go anymore. So 28 minus, that gives you 23. I mean, yeah, if I just go in the 2 3/4 that they have, we'll have plenty of space for an 18-inch board. I won't have to worry about rubbing gears. So yeah, I could just do the 2 3/4 in, or I could just go straight 3 inches in if I felt like it. Yeah, and actually that's something coming up here for after I get this thing done. Right, let's just do this right now. When we get these things done, Mecca, if you remember, we had one drafting stream where I had a pitiful pad. We're going to have more drafting streams, and this time we have appropriately sized paper. So we'll be like, the next thing I'm planning on doing after the vise is sitting down and just sketching out a plan for the next thing. Because the next thing is not shop related. So I'll be able to do that and be able to upload what it was or what it is that we're doing. I'm not, like, if I had CAD, I could just make it in CAD. I'm not too skilled in 3D rendering software though. Also, I saw that you made Bad Dad a mod in your stream. There we go. You can tell I've been here a little too long today. I'm not sure if that's a wise or a bad decision, but it is a Bad Dad decision. I'm just kind of wary of what kind of havoc he can wreak, or what kind of havoc he might wreak. Crayon aided design. But I mean, it's good that you have someone at least there to help mod, because it is difficult doing all the stuff on your own. Not gonna lie, I really do like this camera and being able to like turn it to following me. Oh, I know he is. I just like to give him flack. I just like to give him flack. I mean, we even Bad Dad and I even discussed, like, you know, when the pandemic is finally at a point where we can do stuff, like possibly doing collab streams, because we're both plane nuts. Although at this point, now that I know where Pausanias is, I thought he was over in New York, but I think he's actually closer to where I am. I wouldn't mind doing one with him. Come on, we're almost there. Collaboration, sorry. Sorry, I slur syllables and letters together. I grew up in the deep south where that happens all the time. If you can get a sentence out in 3 syllables, you're doing good. You know, full sentences in 1 syllable, like jeet, nah, juke. Yeah, I'm surprised how much it grew. I'm actually very surprised at how much, like, I felt like I was the only hand tool woodworker for a bit, and then, I mean, I knew Bad Dad had planes. We're getting there. Nothing quite like a shot end on a board. Too deep, too deep. let's see, who else do I raid in on Sundays? Pausanias, I know he's got personal life things going on, so we won't see him for a little bit. I mean, the Forge, he actually raided into me. I'm trying to think of who the other guy is for Sundays. Because it's been a while since, I mean, I used to raid into Hank Bud for a bit, but he's not really a hand tool guy. I'm trying to think. Daddy War Crimes. Haven't seen him on in a bit either. And I've thought about like saving the ends of my mustache to do a handlebar, but I already clipped those off because they were getting in the way. But yeah, soon here will be the Roy Underhilling of my face. Yeah, I haven't seen Daddy War Crimes in a bit. He's fun to watch. He's still active on his Instagram, at least. He hasn't fallen completely off the face of the earth. Getting so close to having one edge done. Yeah, I'm glad we chose this top, even though there's this defect here. It's a much more pleasing top to look at than the other piece as well. We'll figure out something. For you, we'll figure out something. Absolute worst case, I'll epoxy it, but I am not an epoxy woodworker, so that would require me buying epoxy. 98% chance it's going to be a red oak dowel. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're acting like you need a sharpening. So we're just going to assume that that is the case here. You know, I almost never had a use for these little itty bitty nubby Craftsman, but oh my God, ever since I started hand tool woodworking, it is literally perfect for planes. Literally, like it's the right size. Oh, it's a fun journey. I'm not gonna lie there. Man, what? Cat? No, I can't say Cass because Cass is taken. I think I said Quacks last time, but no. Cassix? There we go. Ooh, Cassix. It's a journey. Not gonna lie. Actually, all right. I do everything on stream, without the aid of them, but I do have them, and I do use them. Some of the tools you can't see. Because they're directly behind the camera and you can't see it, and I can't walk behind it to get it to focus. But I basically found out that the more I've been doing it with hand tools, the less I like using power tools. It's kind of a weird nexus point that it's much more fun for me to do it with hand tools. Oh, exactly. And honestly, the camping chair is being done with hand tools for a specific reason. I don't have a turning saw yet. I have a coping saw, but I am not going to cope out around 14 feet of curved wood or of curved pieces. I'd rather have the turning saw first. But yeah, so I'm going to be using power tools for that. And if you realize, like, I have a template, guess what I'm going to be using? I'm going to just use a template router bit and cut around it. And then I got to cut out a ton of little stretchers. That's table saw work right there. Because I can just set up the fence and go. Mainly because I know that this is going to take a while, and I'd rather be doing this on stream than building those chairs. I am not a fan of production fabrication for many reasons. But power tools definitely help when you got to do a lot of the exact same thing. This is why I'm not too worried about, like, once you get everything established for hand sharpening, it takes no time at all, unless you just stop sharpening like you're supposed to be. Like that first sharpen for this stream where I sharpened on the coarse stone a little longer than the others because it wasn't pulling a burr because it was stupid dull. All right. It does, excellent chance. Production manufacturing has its own set of problems and solutions, but the kind of woodworking I like is not really production woodworking, so it's kind of a weird, I like the detail work that you can get with planes and things like that. And Mecca, you're gonna laugh at this, as you always do. Just put in an order for moldings in practice from Lost Art Press. The basically how to make whatever molding you want to make with set of rounds and hollows and half rounds and snipes. So that's going to be like my my Saturday reading for a bit. also some point in the future, and will be the lathe build. Which I think people will really like, but the reason I'm putting it off is it's going to be a very highly technical build. I've got pieces, but I need to do a couple things, like test-wise. Like, I have a big cast iron flywheel that I bought, but it's not as big as the wheel in the plans, so it's going to have a lower RPM treadle if I just use that, and I kind of want to test, am I okay with that big cast iron baby, or do I want to hook that cast iron baby to a big wooden one to increase the gear ratio? Or not gear ratio, but basically, yeah, it's gear ratio. It's just not gears, but change, the change ratio. Do I want to get it, closer to what the book has? Does it even matter if I get it as close to what the book has? I have the solution at hand. I haven't actually finished it. But I do have, I think, honestly, and it was the first one that I bought was the Essential Woodworker. I think that one is like, I'm glad that was my first, because that was literally probably the best one for me to read first so far, because it basically covers everything you'll need. The reason why I haven't finished Solution at Hand is it really, to me, it's a book of jigs. It's something I'm going to reference when I'm like, well, I need to figure out something to do here, or how to do this, and I'm just going to open that up and see if there's something in there. Now, the Essential Woodworker, I would recommend that to anyone. That was a good book. Yeah, I got the Solution at Hand because no need to reinvent the wheel. See if someone's already come up with the solution I'm looking for. Kind of idea. Come on. Yeah, it's dated, but I mean, it is pretty good at telling you what you need to know. I was okay with My Hand and I. I do I got it because I wanted to see what it was all about, and I mean, I don't know if mine's a popular or unpopular opinion, but I did a lot of painting and stuff like that growing up, so like a lot of what he talks about in the books, it's one of those things where it's like he talks more about his journey to getting to understanding proportions than the actual like philosophy of it at times. or like, to me, and it's just like, I don't need to know about the personal journey of you finding it. I want to peruse into what it actually is. It's a good book. It's just not written to my liking, I guess is. And there are good things in it. Like, I do want to do a column study, you know, a classical order study and all that stuff. I don't know, something about his writing is just didn't sit well with me. But I mean, I did pick up I have a sector now because of it, though. So, because I like, that was what I was interested in, was what kind of proportionalities are in woodworking and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's not what I was expecting or hoping for, but it still has good stuff in it. Like, it wasn't a waste, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It was not a waste. I need to put those on different timers. Also, I need to switch it over to like stream elements or something else. Real quick. Dust flying at the camera. Yeah. Streamer bot. Huh. Yeah, I'm looking into seeing how I can make OBS do basically everything. Man, I wish you know what? I'm gonna do this side for a bit, because this side was not cut by me, and I'm just slowly, ever so slowly getting there on that side. So I know this side's probably gonna be faster, and I'm just give myself like a 5-minute break from this side. Let me get me a drink. So something I'm also hoping to do off camera here soon is to get these guys in their own till in the box so they can stop hanging up. And then maybe one day I'll convert this old boy here into a nice like 4-point. And it's got a nice, beautiful handle. It's got a, I'll have to straighten the blade a little bit. That's nothing to piece of metal and a hammer can't fix. Oh yeah, there we go. Take all that green paint off. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to order / make some more of this. I'm just trying to finish off shooting this board and maybe 30 minutes at the most. I honestly don't know. It shouldn't be that long. Like, do you want to do something later or something? Okay, I'm confused, but okay. Okay, yeah, this side will go much faster. Ah, there we go. Look at that green paint just disappear. Okay, I honestly can't believe I have 22 people watching me just shoot the end of a board for what is what now, 3 hours? Wow. You guys are dedicated.
Yeah, basically it was just like, how long would I have to wait for you to leave your car versus me moving your car anyway?
Gotcha.
So just like, I can just move it, it's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll have fun at Joanne's. I know. Have fun at Joanne's, dear. Come on. Well. Okay. Back it. Come on. Yeah, this side's going to go extraordinarily fast comparatively. Because we are almost there, guys. On this side. So I think maybe we'll stream what, if I've still got the gumption and nerve to, maybe we'll stream for the full 4 hours today, guys. Give you guys a good long stream today. Either way, we've done 3 hours, so that's longer than normal. I might actually, since we have been going longer than normal, let's call it lunch break for now. And, you know, every time I call a lunch break, I get rated in. So, lunch break it is, guys. I will be back in probably about, 15-30 minutes. Rope-a-dope. There we go. And we're back. Do. Sorry for that, but realizing I'm going to be streaming longer today, realized I also haven't eaten any kind of lunch, so I was kind of like, that needs to be solved, otherwise I'm going to get irate. Hello, dear. Hope you have fun at the craft store. Oh man, it got cold again. Actually, one second here. Yeah, there we go. Oh Lord, let's see if I can figure that one out. Sorry, I burned my pinky on some lasagna on the tray. The leakiest tap. Thank you for making my comprehensive skills. Do you know? Ow. Just a little bit further to go on this. You may have to replace this guy. He's getting chunked out. It's not going to be here for very long. No. I usually have a beard. That's normal. But recently we were part of a charity stream, and one of the goals was to one of the goals set was shaving it down. So here in a month, I think by the end of January or early February, it's going to be gone. But it only takes me about a month to grow it back. I know, I'm sorry. But it's normally always there. So it'll just be a short hiatus. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Also, I don't recognize you here, but do you mind if I ask how you found me, or what brought you into the stream for where a guy is just brutally hand tool woodworking for a little while? Leakiest tap. Almost there. Okay, one second now. Oh, thank you for the follow there, Leaky. Up on Twitch, making. If you think I'm cool, cool, thank you. I will take that compliment. So right now I'm kind of just doing some of the most boring stuff in hand tool woodworking. I'm shooting the edges of boards. And basically the best way to describe that, so right here you can still see some of the saw marks, but as you shoot the board, you're basically taking shavings off of it, very, very light shavings, until it's 90 degrees to the other faces. And it's also just baby smooth. Like, it's hard to get it to be like that from sanding even. Did that not work? Did project not work? Oh, there it is. Huh. Almost there. I might only be on for another hour though, so if anything, you'll end up in some more interesting woodworking stuff here from me, because I typically raid out to more woodworkers if I can find them. Almost there. Just a breath of stuff down here at the bottom. I actually did not know that about cats. It's a long, slow process. We've got basically all of it done. Come on. What am I? Ah, I see what's going on there. Oh, Australia. Nice. Well, right now I'm working with cherry. This is as shot as it's gonna get. We've just got like a hair of green showing up. can finish the other side. That's good enough. Boop, boop. Ah. We're just about there on this one anyway, so I'm not too worried. Come on. You're acting like you're a little too deep. All right. Okay, so that's the top done. We should probably play around with the chops now, since we know about what we're doing here. So what I'm actually doing is building a big benchtop vise for myself. Oh. Yeah, now we're about a 1/4 inch long. We're gonna have to take a 1/4 inch off of these guys, aren't we? Or we just acknowledge that they're long and center it. How do I want to do this? Honestly, I gotta cut these down, don't I? Well, dang it. That's not that big of a deal. I was gonna drill the holes, but knowing that I need to cut them down now. Yeah. Well, that's good. Boards. Apple's a good wood for stuff like chairs and things. I wonder, does your dad build chairs or just whatnot, or? I really don't want to cut these down. It's one of those things where it's like, it's 2-inch thick material by the time I get done cutting them down. If it's a 1/4 inch, I really don't want to shoot through a 1/4 inch. Actually, it's closer to 3/8, not 1/4. So it's one of those things where I do need to cut it down, period. Just how am I going to do it? Oh, for Apple storage. Gotcha. Okay. how do I want to do this? The top is now the top's width, which makes me think cut it, draw a line, cut on the outside of the line, and then plane it down. Got it, okay. I don't know. I think it's just more of a perfectionist portion of me. I mean, because honestly, I could overhang them and it's not that big of a deal. It's just one of those like, actually, honestly, it's better for them to be long because then I can creep up to making it flush at the end. I could just... Oh, he mods for everyone. Mecca's everyone's mod. He, he's gonna hate me for saying that, no. Okay, so this is the rear chop, which means you go here. Front chop goes here. Like I said, I'm just gonna plane this down to the right size. Got that. Oh, Ish is a fun one to watch too. You know, when you center it, it's not that big of an overhang. So it's probably not that much of an issue. If I center it, then we can just kind of make it a decorative feature. You know, the winning combination for every woodworking project. It's not a mistake, it's intentional, and it's a decorative feature. All right, so Mecca, let's get back to those dimensions. What were we saying we wanted to drill the holes in at? Was that 24? Okay, we have 28-inch chops. Or do we just go 2 3/4 in like they're asking and just, yeah, wait. I think 2 3/4 in would just be good enough. Of course, I just killed the, okay, so, boop. All right, I'm dropping down here, so calculator. 20 clear 28 minus 2 minus 2.75. That gives me, shoot, 22.5 inches of clearance. Which will be fun. Oh, nice, stingray. Then you take, what, an inch off of that, that gives you 19.5. Wait, that doesn't make sense. 1 second here. Mecca, can you remind me of our math from earlier? I know we had 28 inches. Are we going in 2 3/4 like they're asking, or did we come up with a different number? I honestly can't remember. Yeah, that'll do it there, Leaky. That'll do it. Uh-oh. Starting to get the yellow and the reds. That's not good. We may have to call the stream here. Yeah, we're getting yellow and reds, guys. Internet's starting to, I love when it does this. So before it gets too bad, let's start initiating Plan B. Holy heck. Holy heck. E-gem. I'm sorry, I wasn't exacting E-gem to be on. 1 second here. Lay the bolts on the chop 2 3/4 measure what's left between. Lay the bolts on the chop at 2 3/4 measure what's left between. So we're just going in 2 3/4. Okay. So we're just going 2 3/4 in, right? What's left in between? Yeah, let's double check, and then maybe we'll drill. But okay, so here's my chop, and right now I've got him on because we are starting to go between good and terrible upload rate, which is usually my signal to okay, so let's see where we're at. 2 3/4. See what that looks like real quick. Okay. 2 3/4. Sanity check. Take an inch off for bolts, even though it's only 3/4 of an inch we would need to take off for bolts. An inch gives us. Maybe start reading from the 0 side so you don't freak out when it says 14. Okay, we have 22 and a half. And you take an inch off of that, we have 21 and a half. So we have plenty of clearance for an 18-inch board at this point. So we may even go in through. Yeah, we could even go in 3 inches and still have plenty of time. So that might be good. I'm just kind of worried about it jumping back and forth on good and bad upload. We may need to stop here, even though I kind of want to start drilling and going. Let me double check if there's anyone else. I mean, E-gem would be a fun one to go and thing, but it looks like it's just talking because it looks like he's just coming back. Like, I hadn't seen him in forever. He's one of the original like group that raided into me a long time ago. I'm not really seeing anything woodworking wise at all. Starting to stutter here. That's what I was thinking. Like, it started going red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow on my upload speeds. So it's one of those we might need to just call it based on the fact that I'm starting to lose the ability here. If you guys are okay with it, we can go say hello to a streamer a while ago, eGem, who, like I said, hasn't been on in a long time. I'm not sure what he's actually up to, but it might be nice to raid out to him and just give him some love. If you guys are up for that, I promise I won't drill any holes off stream. There won't be anything more than maybe just I might cut some of the legs or like things like that, but I won't drill the holes off stream because I kind of want to just work in on it. So Mecca, do you think it'd be okay to go ahead and just raid out? I think we kind of need to raid out at this point. It's getting stuttery. All right, you guys play nice, and we will say hello to eGem. He's been off his Twitch for a while, but looks like he's thinking about coming back. So have fun, play nice, and we will see you on Wednesday.